professionally shooting a video while sitting on the floor of my office because that's just how I roll. It's also because it's hot outside and my workbench is a mess. So, yeah, unprofessional and it's hot. In this video, I want to go over my thoughts on how the Hobbywing Fusion system works in the RC Semi. And I also picked up some digital scales so I can demonstrate how you can change the truck's weight bias, just like on the full-size trucks, by changing where the fifth wheel position is. I have some running video of the Grand Hauler out at the Dig Days event over Memorial Day weekend. We're going to do the scales first, and then we'll kind of go into the running video, talk about how the Hobbywing Fusion system performed in the semi-truck, and give you my overall take on it. The scales I picked up at Target, I want to say they were about $20 a piece. They are only rated for 11 pounds, so I only put 10 pounds of weight on that flat piece of aluminum bar because I didn't want to overload the scales. I have 3 of them, so when I do build a trailer, I can balance the truck out a little further. The tires I put on the scales as they're just not quite big enough to just set the truck right on them. So lifting the truck up a little bit allowed me to show you the display easier for filming. Plus you can zero them out, so the tires weight, the extra tires weight, is not actually being read on the scales at the moment. The truck by itself with a battery pack, after I get it situated here, is 3 pounds 12 ounces on the drives, 4 pounds 4.1 ounces on the steer. That's with my setup. If you had a different light kit where you were running the Tamiya multifunction unit, the truck would weigh a lot more. I have a nickel metal hydride battery in it. And I didn't catch it at first, but if you watch that front scale, as I put the weights on that flat piece of aluminum, the front loses a little weight when it's in the stock location. And that's because the fifth wheel is mounted behind the center of the suspension. When Tamiya first came out with the King Hauler in '93, I don't think they had intended for the trucks to tow as much weight as they do. Now, imagine if that was on a lowboy and there was a 40-pound excavator or dozer on it, it might have actually pulled more weight off the front end. And that's, again, kind of contributes to why the trucks push so much when they're loaded and you have locked differentials. Now that I'm situated, I'm going to move the fifth wheel forward so it's directly over the center of that suspension. And you'll notice the steer axle gained weight from even when the truck didn't have the trailer on it in the first place. It picked up 0.6 ounces, which isn't a lot, but this is kind of more of a demonstration of how the fifth wheel position changes the weight on the truck. Now I'm actually moving the fifth wheel plate forward as if you flipped that mounting plate around. And now the truck's sitting at 4 pounds 7.3 ounces on the steer. I have not moved the weights on the trailer at all. So all that does is shift the weight a little more each time onto the steer axle, which again you can do on a full-size truck. The full-size truck's weight difference is a lot greater because of course you're just dealing with greater weight. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Kind of a fun little thing to do. I'm going to move the fifth wheel plate even farther forward. I tried to get it directly over that front drive axle. And you'll see the steer again picks up a fair bit more weight than it was empty or even over when it was in the stock location. 4 pounds 9.1 ounces. So almost picked up half a pound on the front end just by moving that fifth wheel plate further forward. Just kind of a fun little experiment. The Fusion, as I've said in other videos, super smooth, really quiet,
The drag brake would hold the truck and trailer up this grade, even fully loaded, no problems. The truck, that system also had plenty of power, even in second gear, fully loaded. If you gave it full throttle, it'd break the tires loose. No questions asked. I'm just so happy with this system, especially for how quiet it is, how smooth it is. It's not going to have the top end that I think some people want in a crawler if you want something with a lot of wheel speed, but for slow speed precision driving like this, Fusion's definitely worth checking out, I think. Plenty of torque. Again, super smooth. The drag brake's really strong. The whole day I was running it, the motor never really got hot. When I did change the battery was a little warm, but the motor itself was probably right around ambient air temperature, 70, maybe 75 degrees. Handled the dirt and the weight of them steel trailers, no problem. Yeah, I had zero issues with this setup at all throughout the whole day, and really happy with the Hobbywing Fusion, especially for the price. To put it in the semis, I know in the King Haul and the Grand Hauler, since they have similar setups, you do have to move the steering servo and the shift servo forward a little bit to get the system in place. And if you have big hands like me, the wires for the battery need to be a little longer. But that's it. It's just a smooth system, plenty of power. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Got a little bit of kick out of the science of shifting the weight around just by moving the fifth plate. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and we will catch you in the next one.